do have Tade Ogidan in the house. Join us as we welcome him to our studio. It's a pleasure.
Hi.
It's an honor meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Wow. He's so humble, so subtle, so unassuming.
How would you know that? Just because I said hello, good afternoon?
There's so much.
There's
so much. It's good to be here.
Good to be back home. I mean, look, this used to be home. You'll probably be in secondary school. And look, today is, for me, this is a very special show for me because Bayo Gori is directing a show I'm sitting on.
Can you repeat that?
Bayo. You don't get the joke.
I'm getting it.
He'll be laughing his head back at the control.
I'm getting it. As long as he's not punching the wrong button there.
Oh no, he better not be punching any wrong button.
Because you're there to castigate him.
He grew up punching a lot of wrong buttons. No, but you know, it's good. I'm happy. Oh, we used to have huge cameras. It would be like the big size of that cameraman behind the camera. And you know, you start to record. And look, I schooled in the US. Then you come back into the studio. You've planned your, you do your short list. I mean, I was in the drama department, and you know, so Techno is saying her line, and shot number 15 is this on camera 1. On camera 3 is blah 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 on so you've done it like that, and then you come into the studio, and then the engineers are battling with the thing, and you've locked this thing down to 3-4 cameras, and then they go, I'm not sure you will have 4 cameras to do, but let's just see how it goes. NTA used to be the place where everybody started from. You as an actor, as a camera person, everybody. This used to be the base of productions. Not just talk shows that, look, there's nothing in our background, though. They have keyed things. Bayo and his technical
team. Ask you a question.
So that's chroma key it is called.
Ask a question here.
No, you may not ask a question.
I'm the one asking the questions here. Yes, I have to ask this question. What are you here for?
To interview you.
Not to interview me.
And to canvas.
No way.
Honestly, I've always believed that this should be the flagship of the television broadcast in all of Africa, not just Nigeria.
Okay, yes. You have spilled. You came with fire and you have spilled.
Look, this was a place everybody worked like a family, and there was a lot of tension to get the programs out. You know, and it's not just to make little programs that just fill the space. You had to do documentaries, you did musicals, you did music stuff in the studio, you did all manner of things, huge drama, small drama, all the Cockroach had done and all those things, Village Headmaster. You need something of this generation. I came into the NTA system as a 21-year-old person then. I was with a lot of fire. I would write, and you know, my colleagues would make time. They would read. I would have gotten to work early in the morning. People would read. I wrote a bunch of some of the things you're watching as the movies of now that I'm doing outside. I wrote them in this system. I wrote Hostages here. I wrote Madame Dearest here. I mean, so my fondest memories of NTA. It was a fantastic place. It's a place that made whoever it is that you think you are. From the Bode Alala days to the CNN Orwell Browns to the Tunde Kelanis to the Tade Ogidan to the Juwale Fanus, just name them. Jimmy Odumosu. Everybody, at one point or the other, you went through this system and you had to be creative. There was competition, even among the NTA stations.
Okay, so what did you take out of the system?
It made me Nigerian. It made me very, very Nigerian. It had to come down to planet Earth, the way things can be here.
Enough of NTA and its experience. We are talking about Tade Ogidan. We are celebrating you.
Yeah, NTA is part of the
platform.
Tade Ogidan.
Yes. That's you've said so much already, and you've taken so much time talking about NTA, which is really good. Now we are celebrating Tade Ogidan because he was one of us here. He went out, he saw, and he conquered. And now we are celebrating him right here on the set, where it all started from. But before we go further, let's go backward. We want to know a little bit about you. I usually would like to know it from the horse's mouth. You're not a horse, but
yeah,
you're
just
Tade
finished
Ogidan.
calling me
Yes.
the horse. So the horse just.
All right. So where are you from, for starters?
Well, I'm from Ondo State. I was born in Lagos. I grew up in Lagos. I schooled in Lagos, and then I schooled in the US, and then I got back here. I was one of those people who schooled outside, and every moment was about home. Everything I did, even in school, was home relevant, because I knew I would never be able to settle down abroad. I'm just not that kind of person. I was filled with so much to bring back to this system. I had learned quite a bit, and you just leave the rest to God. You develop yourself. What became of me was I was a young person with a lot of energy. The system would try to cage you to size in a way. I just wasn't want to give into that.
Okay, so your educational background, what do you study?
Radio, TV, film.
Okay.
So it became very handy for me. I come from a financial, like my dad is an accountant. My mom used to work in a bank, and they wanted us to get into. Oh, my dad, he would have given anything. And all of this was pretty new at the time I was going to school. And he was really worried that, what are you going to go and become? I mean, at a point when we didn't know any better, so we're going to just get into school here and go and do theater arts. So, Jerry, just let's get into school, get a degree, and get out. And we're going to go do theater arts. But the moment I found out that you could, because we used to, as younger people, we used to come to NTV. In this same studio, it used to be, it seems smaller now, I don't know. Okay, you have sets all over the place. They used to, they in their generation, when they needed young people, they'll bring us, quickly learn those lines. And they'll bring us here, and everything was live then, there's no editing. If you're recording a 1 hour show, that 1 hour show would typically really, not when it's become seriously commercial television, that 1 hour show will be like maybe 59 minutes, 58 minutes. If you make a mistake at 57 minutes, you're going to go back to the top and start to record everything all over.
So it was something you set out. TV production was something
Absolutely.
You set out to do from the very onset.
Absolutely. I would say I'm lucky because not many people would have the same privilege. And at that point in time, that didn't exist in the country. So you had to go out. So all the Kelanis, them, all the Jimmy Odumosus, them, Iria Nakimios, them, they all schooled outside. And so they had the privilege to specialize in this. But now they have, some of the schools have, in the mass comm department, they would have a bit of film, they would have a bit of radio, television, which is good. But at that time, it was novelty, it was new. My father was really worried what I was going to become. And
at least now you'll be smiling.
A neighbor says, look, just let him follow his dream. I say, I'm a civil servant, I don't have the money to throw into all of this. It was a generation when the naira, 1 naira, was so powerful. It was $2.50 made 1 naira. So you see, you can't process what is going on around you in the country now. Like, we used to be kings out there.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question. We're jumping the gun now. You left NTA to go into have a production. What informed that? In 1 or 2 lines.
The day I found out what is that thing called pension, I be gratuity. The day I found out what it would be, I said, because I had wanted to leave like a couple of times, and I was so loved in this system. Those are memories that you just keep. I was so loved in this system. My bosses would call my dad at work. He wants to leave. What can he possibly want to go and do outside? Do not forget, it's not this generation where you have so many programs from all over the place. There's nothing. So I said I wanted to just go make those things and then bring it back into the system. They said, but so we're still the ones that will take these things from you from outside. It's going to be a mistake if you leave. And so my father will go, what's wrong with you now? Don't forget he was a civil servant too. So, and well, top level civil servant. So they are talking at the same level where they understand themselves, and they are retrenching people. They are begging you to stay. Can't you see that? One, you even need to respect that. Then two, it's just God that is ministering to you now. And then I will now sit back. I'll be so frustrated. I wanted to go and do some of those big things. And then at the end of the day, I just felt it was time, and I took that plunge. One had won quite a number of awards, and so one had a name out there even before I left here. So, well, you struggle through it, and with God behind you, it's okay. You'll do well.
All right, good. So, Hostages was your first movie,
so to say. I've shot Hostages. I've shot Diamond Ring. I've shot Raging Storm. I've shot Saving Alera. I've shot Madame Dearest. Family on Fire is the new one. I've shot Dangerous Twins, and which other ones? I mean, I've helped some of my friends do some of the projects. Out of Bounds would be like one of them. Ayomida for Shala Shobawale will be yet another one.
So now, you're a total package, no doubt.
Oh, I'm an all-rounder. From scripting to producing to running camera work to directing to editing. I mean, that used to be my lifestyle around here.
Now, for you as a person, most of the movies you do them with some kind of didactic meanings. You give it meaning, and not everybody can be a judge to do movies like that. Why did you decide to stand up from the car when you know that even really now movies will bring more money to your pocket?
Now, like I said, look, the money will come. The movies we've shot since 1990, they're still in high demand. It's amazing. The shelf life of some of the movies out there would be like a week, 2, 3 at the max. They're still asking for all those projects. That means you have done something. You never can predict where my stories will go. That's one power of my scripting and my scripting development. I create suspense, and then I would have lived through that content. When I'm scripting, I cry, I speak those lines, I laugh, I do everything. So I already know exactly how it's going to play in the heads of the viewers, every stage of it. And that takes experience. It also takes, you need to be calm. There are people who this is all about money. For me, it's not. You must be able to stand out tall. If you can't, for me, it's not worth my while.
So movie is like an amalgamation of psychology, sociology, and philosophy.
Everything.
So if you don't put that together,
you don't. There are people who don't even think that people are writing. There are people who will be writing, like some of the marketers will say, look, you got to give me I want 6 scripts. Another marketer comes to the same person, look, I want 5. Another marketer comes and says, I want 3 different stories, but you split it into 10 scripts. The same person. So he's writing this one. And then when he's tired of that scene, he moves into the next thing. And then moves into come on, the things won't even make sense. Even he cannot remember. What's the name of that character again? And then he goes, the characters don't have depth. They don't. So there are people like that. It's all about the money. It's all about survival. Survival is good, but you also must make the kind of things that create the impact, and that impact is actually what feeds us, is what brings the money.
When you want to reel out a film, what are the things you put into consideration?
What the audience wants. Every other thing follows. What the audience wants. When the audience can appreciate this, look at Madame Dearest. The audience, till tomorrow, they talk about it. They want, so can't you just do a follow-up of what? It's what the audience wants.
And what do you think the audience want?
They want a fantastic thing. They want something that they cannot predict what's going to happen next. They want something. It's a very sophisticated world now. So look, they've seen series and all manner of things all over DSTV, High TV, Star TV, NTA, name it.
And for some reason, the ones that bring in this wishy-washy ones still sell. How come?
Well, it depends on the definition of sell, really. They will rent those things. Then they will go and watch it and say, please don't even waste your money renting, talk less of buying it. Meanwhile, for a project like something a Kelani will do, something a Tade will do, something a Jimmy will produce, they may go and rent it. And then they go, this is not rental material. How much is that thing? Let me pay you so you can go and buy more in the market. They'll seize it and pay. So look, you've touched their lives. You've touched their lives in such a way that they can watch that same thing over and over and over and over again. And that's the success for me with the audience. And it's not just in Nigeria. It's practically all over the world. So your name comes up somewhere, anywhere, at the airports, in the community of Nigerians, Africans, they recognize it immediately. They go, oh, we don't know your face, we know you. Could you be the blah, blah, blah? And, you know, look, doors open for you that way. What can you possibly need? What can you need? They are more than delighted to be your friend. And they are more than delighted to be of assistance to you.
Okay, so now to our next question. You've done so much already, and there's one that's dropped this year, which is the Family on Fire.
Family on Fire, yes.
Yes, can you tell us about it? Why you made the film?
I'm worried what our young people are becoming. They are so overtly money conscious. Money is everything, and they don't think of the repercussions of this, the ways they're going about this thing. Look at the young people now are kidnapping people. They're doing all manner of unprintable, unthinkable things. These are the guys that will be the generation of tomorrow. We're going to need leaders. Our generation won't be the stop of all of this. We're going to need the generation of tomorrow. What are we breeding?
Where did we get it wrong?
I don't know. We have over-celebrated money. And there's no fix to it. It's only from the home. Because again, you see, you fix it from the home. A lot of the kids are fantastic young people in their homes. And then they get into school and they get into environments where they're forced into cultism, they're forced into all manner of things. Be the best friend your child can have, so that you will know. Because some of these young people, they're just looking for somebody to talk to. Everything is wrong from the top, everything. And because they're using the money in silly ways, they're stealing money that 10 generations can finish spending. It's a disease. So some of the kind of movies that I make take care of this kind of things. And one also encourages some of the responsible adults. Look, make one young person or two or more your friend, mentor them. What they can't say at home, let them say to you. So that you will be the barometer to know when the trouble is coming. Encourage them to be able to share practically everything with you. So that you can also make friends with their parents and say to them, you are not making time. True, the society is tough. You got to make ends meet and all that. But look, when something goes wrong from the side of this kid, you are going to drop everything you're doing and you're going to make all the time. And that's what you see in something like a Diamond Ring. You know, so, and the same thing happens in this. Oh, the parent pamper some of these children, you indulge them, you overindulge them, and then they get into trouble. The trouble never ever stops with them. It's going to hit the family, it's going to hit the immediate society, and the family the society at large. So what we're doing with Family on Fire, it's not the typical movie. It's yet another counseling movie. And when I say counseling, it's not done in a boring way. Families should go to the cinemas to go and see this. It must, because when we've premiered this in London, we've premiered it 2 times in Lagos. It's not presented in very flat ways. There's entertainment, and then the entertainment hooks you, and you're wondering, oh my God, look at, so this guy thought he was smart and all of that. Now, how did they resolve this? And then just when you thought, okay, this is the worst that could have happened, and then it gets
Something
crazier
happens, yeah.
and crazier. You know, people should go to the cinemas, have fun with it.
Okay,
to help.
so yeah, you are a very busy person, no doubt. Very, very busy trying to fight the cause of not just your family, but the society at large.
Yeah.
Now, so on a final note, how do you balance work and family life? Because I want to believe that work takes so much of your time. How do you balance it?
It's an unfair one, really, because this is very time consuming. You're like a pilot. You're flying. Even the life of a pilot, you know that, okay, he's gone for X days a week and then he's around. We're on the move a lot. But look, I enjoy to give the kids time because we have a fantastic time when we do some of all of these things you're preaching outside. You're preaching it at home too. You're taking in all these domestic hands and all that. And sure, even if they have school starts, you gotta go to university. And most of them are graduates. Some of them are graduates.
And your
some
wife?
of them are. I mean, well, she lives with it. It's just part of it. She lives with it, and we're happy. We're happy people. In our ways, we touch the lives of people. And for me, you can't start to quantify that in money because you see the smile on these faces, the background from which some of them come, you know, is the kind of background where they may not have been able to achieve some of the things we've given to them, and that just makes me happy.
Oh, great. You have made us very happy here. You have, in fact, I've personally learned a lot from you, from this discussion, from this interview. So we'll just say, keep up the good work. Keep on keeping on. Thank you so much for gracing Saturday Night.
Good to be here.
Yeah. So, viewers, on that note, we say thank you so much for staying tuned to Saturday Night. Until next week, have a pleasant night.